Welcome to Link G4x Training Part 47. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at working with our Math Blocks programming feature in our G4x systems. Now, our Math Blocks is going to take any available channel that we have within our PCLink software, and we can combine channels to be able to calculate and make a new internal channel within the software. So we could take something like our engine coolant temperature, we could turn it from degrees of Celsius into units of Fahrenheit, or if we're looking at something like our map pressure, we can translate that from units of kPa into units of PSI and have it as a separate display within the software or a loggable parameter. And we can take things a step further if we want to go and create a custom math channel based on other existing channels. We can use that new math channel to have as an input for our fuel table or for our spark timing table or for our boost control tables. I'm going to show you an example of how I work with engine efficiency, comparing our exhaust pressure and our intake manifold pressure, so we can calculate what that engine efficiency is going to be and being able to translate that and put that into a fuel table to use that for our fuel calculations. We're going to have a lot to cover in this video. Let's jump in so we can check this out. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to be taking a look at working with our math block programming and functionality in our PCLink software for the Link G4x systems. This is going to be a new software feature that the G4 Plus systems did not have present. We can use this for logging purposes, for display purposes, for even tuning purposes. We're going to take a look at a couple examples here in implementing some math block functionality and programming. First thing we need to do, jump into our layout. Move down to the bottom, the very last layout here, virtual/math. This is going to be where we start to program and work with our math block functionality. Now I have four math blocks here available. There are going to be more here if we jump into ECU settings and we go down here under math. We're going to find that we have a total of 8 math blocks, so we can write up to 8 different custom equations using existing parameters. So let's go and start to talk and take a look here at our math block 1. We'll start with this basic concept. So up here in the label, we'll be labeling what we want this math block to be called. We can find here, if we're taking a look at our screen on the right hand side, I have my normal engine parameters on this left column for my runtime values, my display values, my live values. And then on the right column here, we're going to find all of our different parameters we can take a look at. So right now, math block 1 output, this is showing me what it's calculating, what it's outputting from this actual math block. So in the label here, if I relabel this, and I'm going to be calling this one ECT, or engine coolant temperature with an F, ECTF, we can see it's going to be labeling it right here. So math block 1 output, ECTF. So in this configuration that I'm looking at right now, I have my engine coolant temperature in degrees of Celsius. Now I know we can go up here to options, we can go into units, and we can select here under options when we're in metric or imperial as our options for the unit scale that we're working with for all the different various inputs and outputs. We can find here for the temperature, we can go and simply select it from Celsius to Fahrenheit, but that may not be desirable. We may want to display both Celsius and Fahrenheit for the engine coolant temp channel. So I'm going to show you how to translate using a mathematical function from degrees of Celsius to degrees of Fahrenheit. So we can display both of these at the same time for logging purposes, or again for any kind of other functionality here in the software. So what we're going to do here is translate one of our parameters here. We have the 4 different parameters we can work with. These are all going to be parameters that we're finding in our list of things here. So we can go up here, let me type in ECT in this case. We're going to be looking at engine coolant temperature. We're going to move down our list and we can select it right here. So engine coolant temperatures of interest for this particular conversion. So again, converting it from Celsius to Fahrenheit. So we'll select the raw channel here. So it's going to be looking at parameter A as ECT. Now in this case, I don't need to use any of my other parameters. So I have the 4 different parameters I can use. I'm only going to be using one to do my conversion from, again, Celsius to units of Fahrenheit. Decimal places here, we'll go here from 0 to 1. So we're going to be saying we want 1 decimal place. So if we're looking at the raw functionality here, if we have 0 decimal places, it'll be displaying just an even value. So something like 60. In this case, I'm going to say allow it to go 60.1 or 60.3. It'll go in and actually display with an extra decimal place. It may or may not be important depending on what you're trying to do with your translation here in your math block. I'll just do 1 decimal place. Now the equation here is where we're going to go and write the mathematical equation. This is actually really simple. In order to go and translate engine coolant temperature in Celsius to Fahrenheit, we'll write the following mathematical equation. So I'm going to be doing shift bracket. We're going to be putting a bracket here, then the letter A. So we're going to be typing in here A. That's exactly what we're finding here, parameter A. So we just need to designate the parameter that we're entering here as A, B, C, or D as far as how we're entering it into the equation here. So it's going to be A, which is our engine coolant temp, in Celsius. We're going to be multiplying it, so in my case, I'll do Shift asterisk. Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.